Oh, hi. Today, I'm gonna mess with this poor skirt that has been through the ringer. I gotta take it in before I do some other shit because there's so much fabric. I guess I could gather it. Well, that sounds like a lot of work. So I got a little ahead of myself already, and this used to have an elastic waistband on it, which is here, and I have taken it in because it never really fit right. Hopefully somewhere in the ether I can find the thumbnail for what this originally looked like so you can see it. I haven't been wearing it that much. I have this, which also used to be part of a dress. I just realized there's very embarrassing footage of me dancing in that dress. So yes, this is one of my first DIYs with a proper sewing machine and everything. I really like the top. I don't know if you are familiar with Ray Davies, but he is one of the members of the Kinks, and he has a really, really fun song called Come Dancing. And I got to see him live a couple of times because my favorite band in the world, Loxley, opened for them. Also, one of the scariest nights of my entire life was after seeing Loxley and Ray Davies in Vermont, because there was an ice storm about 9 years ago, maybe 10, that took out the power for weeks for most people in New England. It was the storm. And yeah, I was driving from Burlington, Vermont back to Manchester, New Hampshire overnight that night, just in the eye, not in the eye of it because it would have been calmer, but just in the thick of it the entire fucking time. Normally that's a 2 hour, 45 minute to 3 hour drive, and it took me about 7.5 hours to get home. That's the difference between me in my early 20s versus me in my early 30s, is I have the chance to see my favorite ska band play my favorite album that I have a giant goddamn leg tattoo for, because it's the 10-year anniversary of Fluent Instrumental coming out by Big D and the Kids Table, and I couldn't be bothered. It was a Saturday, show started at 7. I had nothing else going on. The first live artist I ever saw, MC Lars, was opening. It couldn't have been a more me lineup, but because the person I had initially asked to go with me wasn't up for going, I was like, there's no point. I am kicking myself for not doing that. Because driving home from Boston's hard now. Where before, yeah, I was unfazed by oh, storm of the century, and I have to drive overnight, and I have to work the next morning. Priorities, man. Oh, to be young again. Just kidding. I scared my entire family that entire night because my phone died. I ran out of gas at some point. Thankfully, the girl I was with, who came up on a train from Virginia to go to this, and my best friend will never forgive her for pressuring me into going to this concert because it was such a dangerous trip. Thankfully, yeah, she had AAA, so they came to fill our tank because we were on the road for so long, going so slowly and in such bad conditions that we ran out of gas and nowhere was open because it was such a bad storm that the power went out everywhere. Anyway, this has nothing to do with the thing. I just haven't thought about the original dress and the shit I put myself through coming home from the show where I bought this shirt. What I'm trying to get at is we're gonna overhaul this because I wear it to sleep sometimes, but even then, not really. And it's pretty baggy. Between this and the elastic band on this originally, I was just too afraid of wearing things that were too tight, but then I find myself wearing more fitted things, at least in the top. This, for an example, I love this dress because it's fitted here, pulls it in a bit without crushing my entire abdomen, you know? I don't want it to be uncomfortably tight, but I'm okay with fitted now. I'm more comfortable in my body. Where back then, I wanted to have fun with things, but not show more than this part of my clavicle. And honestly, even that I had to grow into. I couldn't even handle anything that didn't have a regular ass t-shirt collar. Anything lower than that, I was just oh no, my décolletage. Is that even the proper pronunciation? Probably not. Oh god, I got so caught up in how fast I was talking that I forgot what I was trying to tell you all. These edges are pretty rough. This is sticking out a lot up here. I kind of want to re-zhuzh it. I just have to be very careful to not hit the graphic up here. I can already feel this is going to be very old school sewing nerd, reconstructing an already reconstructed outfit. So yeah, basically I'm going to be changing my mind a bunch as I go. I would give you a list of here's what you need, but clearly I don't fucking know what I'm doing yet. So we'll just come up with stuff as we go. So I'm not going to cut the front seam off because I don't want to lose any more of this graphic, and I will just fold this over once more and that should be okay. I don't like how bulky this seam is with the original shoulder from the t-shirt, and I'm okay with that being taken in a bit. So I'm just going to cut along here and along here. Do the same on this side, and I am likewise going to cut the side seam out. I should be measuring this part, but I'm not. I'm going to lay this on top of here so I can at least make it even. Okay, that looks like a front and back to me. Yeah, that looks nice and centered, doesn't it? If you're nervous about doing something like this, you can take a shirt that fits you already and lay it on top and trace around it if you want to take something in. I'm just an animal. I'm not going to worry about the bottom hem because that's getting attached to the elastic, but I am going to serge these edges and then attach this together. Not even going to think about the skirt yet. We'll fuck with that once we get the top done. Okay. This has been tweaked. I think everything looks a lot cleaner. It's shortened. It's taken in some. Should try it on, but I'm not gonna. Also attach the elastic. I absolutely should have switched the serger thread to black, but I'm about to start a white skirt after this, so I didn't want to like switch back and forth twice. And all the seams that have been serged are going to be like hidden, so I'm not entirely worried about it. Because the top of this skirt, this poor skirt, has been so chewed up from getting unpicked so many times, cut all that off and it's a nice clean edge now. And I also like tapered in the sides. I'm going to quarter the elastic and quarter this and see if it'll line up without gathering. If not, then I'll do some gathering stitches. Want the elastic fully exposed, so I'm doing it wrong sides together up at the top. And also, rather than having the raw edges right next to each other, pull this in like 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch. So when it folds over, it'll be like nice and clean. No threads are sticking out. Ah, hell yeah. So now I fold it over this way and do some top stitching. All of this is with zigzag stitching, by the way, anything attaching the elastic. The top is going to get attached the exact same way. Wrong sides together, flip it out, and then top stitch with zigzag stitches for both of those. So I'm just going to do those, and then I'll come back for the final reveal. Unless shit goes down between now and then, which is very likely. Let's see what happens after the jump cut. One little note I do want to make. The reason why all of this is working without a zipper, unlike the Rocket Man skirt I was making, is because not only is this fabric stretchy, but there's also enough of it that like the elastic stretched to its fullest was how I attached the fabric. If you're like, you're doing the same thing you just did and messed up on. Nah, I got it covered this time. You know what? I really like how this came out. I like where this is hitting now. It's like up a little bit. I like this is cinching in the most flattering spot for me, just over my little beer tummy. Even if this were a little higher, it wouldn't be the worst thing. Like if I move around, I notice if I'm wearing a dress that has an elastic waist, it like shimmies up as I move around, and that's not the worst thing. It was initially giving me like pancake boob, but I just readjusted the bra I'm wearing and it's fine. And the initial design was to have it off the shoulder. Like it wants to stay on my shoulders like this, which is good because you can tell I've been wearing the same style tank top and bra in the sun. So having something like this will be nice because I can, you know, even that out a little bit. The reason this would just come up like a regular tank top before is because it was too big, but now it's fitted and it's staying and it's not digging into my armpit here, but it's also not gaping open or anything. Considering how little precision I went into this project with, I'm pretty fucking pumped with how it came out. The only thing that is bothering me, and it's just virtue of, well, I guess it would even happen with like newer clothes, is this is a faded black that is a different shade than this. It's like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon now. It's on a Saturday. I got so much shit done this morning, and the only things left on my list are to edit a bunch of videos and another secret project I can't talk about yet. Promise you're gonna hear about it relentlessly once it's out. Oh, I can't wait. Soon. Very, very soon. Hey, future me, make sure you edit that part out in case this hasn't come out in a timely manner. Anyway, yeah, I have to edit a bunch of stuff and then just go grocery shopping. The direction I need to head for the grocery store is also where all the breweries are for a long period of time. By the time you see this, it's either just leading up to or just after my July 1st, 8 a.m. product launch on my Etsy shop. I'll link to that in the description. I also do have like an Etsy shop specific Instagram account called Sewing Nerd Studios if you want to see more photos of that kind of stuff. Progress shots that are specifically for the Etsy shop. I know I post a lot of stuff on here about it, but it's like dedicated to that. If you want to give my shop a follow so you can keep up to date on things, that would be a huge help. I really, really appreciate that. When I get favorites on certain items, it obviously gives me a good indication as to what you all want to see in my shop. So if there are certain things that you do like, just give them a little heart. Feedback is much appreciated. I've also been collecting like little maps and trinkets and stuff from places around that I'm going to send out to my patrons soon. If you have any interest in checking out my Patreon, I do post a lot of stuff early. At least when I get it edited ahead of time, you get sneak peeks. I have like exclusive videos over there that are just for patrons. If you have any questions, I'm on board with doing like a monthly Q&A kind of thing when they come up. So let me know what you want to know. Otherwise, I'm going to go. I'll see you all with another video on Saturday. Thanks for hanging out. Maybe I'm just trying to prove to myself that I wasn't always such a curmudgeonly hermit of an old woman.